Welcome to Subgenre Sickos, the podcast where we analyze movies from specific small genres that pop up for a few years and then fade away for the most part. We look at the signifying tropes, notable figures, what works, what doesn't work, and their enduring legacies. So join us, won't you, while we discuss the movies. Creeps, sickos, ghouls, welcome to Subgenre Sickos, the podcast that I explain in the intro because I am so goddamn smart. Welcome. I am one of your hosts, Greg Orm, and with me as always is...
Steve Skinner. Happy to be here, Greg, for an episode for the True Sickos.
Yes, this really is one for the true sickos. My God. This week we are talking about the 2007 Ronald Bronstein film Frownland, which has been described as abrasive, an unpleasant endurance test, a walking nightmare, and by me, potentially one of my favorite comedies. I loved this movie so much, which I think you called last week. I think you called the shot like Babe Ruth that I was going to love this. And I mean, I don't think I had any doubt that that was true, but boy, what a treat this one was for me.
Yeah, I think... Oh, the fly came back. There's a fly in my room, so if that becomes a distraction, sorry, it's distracting me. We'll figure it out.
Or to reframe, we have a guest this week.
Our first guest, the fly, which is, I feel like a fly is an appropriate guest for Frownland. It's just like,
Yeah.
Oh, really interesting insights. But yeah, I really liked it. I don't think I liked it as much as you, but it's still a big fan. And I'm surprised by that because, yeah, the way you described it and the way I'd heard from other people, like Patton Oswalt, who's like, oh, this is one of those great movies I've only watched once. I'm like, oh, no, if it's too much for Patton, how can I handle this? But yeah, it wasn't, not that it's like a good time, but it's...
Like I said last week, when I hear people say things like that immediately shoots up on my to-watch queue. And I get real excited about it. Those are like the magic words.
It's just like, it feels like something like that divisive. It's like, well, they're at least trying to do something. It's not just kind of warm gruel that is just bland. It's like, oh, they're making choices, they're doing something, and it's, yeah, like a love it or hate it type of deal. And those, yeah, you can find some real gems in those things that most people hate.
I respect a movie that is explicitly telling me to go fuck myself. I think that's good.
Yeah, this does that a bit, and it's...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Whiplash from the puffy chair, and Hannah takes the stairs to Frownland.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that as much happens in this as Hannah takes the stairs, kind of. But it's just so much more engaging.
Yeah.
And funny. And just fucked up.
Yeah, it's... While watching it, I was like, yeah, not a lot is happening, but like, there's still tension. It's almost like you're not watching paint dry. You're more like watching like a bug on the wall, maybe a fly on the wall, and you're like, what is this bug gonna do next? It's unpredictable, but right now it's just sitting there and not doing things for a long time, but just the anticipation has got me locked in. And it's just, yeah, it's so engaging.
It's like watching someone watch paint dry, but that person is terrified of the paint. Is kind of what it is a little bit. Because this movie is ultimately about a man who is too anxious to function.
Yeah.
Like, in a very literal sense. Like, we've talked about the trope of them using naturalistic filler words. This guy has entire monologues that are filler words and then sentences he abandons a quarter of the way into. Like,
Yeah.
and it's 5 minutes of him just going, but like, but, well, the thing, but, and it's enthralling. I could not look away. I was having so much fun.
He maybe finishes 4 sentences in the entire movie. He's just talking in circles,
Well,
just so hot that's the whole time, just so hard to speak with anyone. People who are supposed to be his friends,
yeah,
people who are his roommates, people who might be his love interest.
yeah. It is a movie about a person who desperately needs human connection, but every person can sense that desperation palpably, and because of that, refuses to connect with him in any way, meaningful or not. And so he is just flailing about through life in a whirlwind of anxiety and terror.
Yeah, it's just like what would it be like to live in the shoes of the most insecure person in the world for a time, and not fun, but as someone who has their own insecurities and anxieties and strange self-image related to those things, it's weirdly familiar and weirdly comforting. Like, oh yeah, like what is happening in my brain and how I feel, like I am seeing that and like through this character, and it's like weirdly reassuring.
Yeah, it it makes you feel less alone in the
Hmm.
world to know that other people have this sort of experience or feeling about themselves. And it's also just, as a person who often thinks in worst case
Yeah,
scenarios, it's cathartic to see them play it out in the safe environment of a movie that is not happening to me.
exactly. It's yeah, therapeutic in a way where
Yeah.
it's like I'm able to project this onto this other person, this character, and almost like separate myself from it. Because yeah, some of it is just like the thought of like, oh, like yeah, we all have, I don't, maybe we don't all have it, but like there's like the insecure thought of like, oh, like what if everyone hated me? And this movie's like, oh,
Yeah.
yep, everyone hates him. The insecure thoughts you have
Oh,
are self-fulfilling prophecies because you're unable to communicate. Because you're so worried about this person liking you.
yeah. And they don't. He's right. They don't. And unlike in the real world, where a lot of times if someone doesn't like you, they are trying to be polite about it
Yeah,
and maybe not trying to show it. In this world, they are not going to dance around it. They are openly
yeah,
hostile at any and every opportunity. And yeah, it's like watching a nightmare with no surreal elements.
yeah.
Like it's very grounded, but everything that happens is nightmarish.
Just yeah, like a spiral. Just like it's like this guy ever gonna catch a break? Like, is he ever gonna figure it out? Because I think that's part of like what keeps you, at least kept me captivated. It's just like what's this guy deal? Like, what's this guy deal? Like, is he like scamming people using this? Like, is he just this way? Like, is something gonna click? Is there gonna be any explanation? It's just like, oh no, this is just
Yeah.
how he engages with the world. This is just his life.
Yeah. He is just trapped in a feedback loop of this,
Yeah.
this hell. And he's not going to snap because he has already snapped, and we are seeing the end game of him snapping. And luckily for everyone, him snapping just equals he can't form a fucking sentence.
Yeah, he's not shooting up the mall food court.
Because that would require talking to a gun clerk, and that is something that he is not going to do. And if he tries, they are going to escort him out of the building
It would require, yeah,
and
any
like
human
put him.
interaction.
Yeah. If he like, I almost want to see the scene of him trying to buy a gun because that definitely ends with the police being called and him not successfully purchasing a
Yeah, I'm
gun.
like, that scene ends up with him going to jail probably, like, just
Yeah.
making things
Yeah,
worse.
without actually committing a crime. Like, he's not going to commit a crime, but he is going to end up in jail, just purely vibe-based.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, this is, like, the weirdest, most off-putting guy." Like, he hasn't done anything wrong, but
Yeah,
he shouldn't be out in society. Like,
yeah.
he can't survive in this world.
This is this is better for everyone else, and honestly, it's better for him.
Maybe, yeah,
Yeah,
he's just
I'm not like a
yeah.
pro-prison guy, but yeah, it almost seems like it would be better to just like have government mandated people watching out for him. Although they would probably not be less hostile to him than his closest friend, his maybe girlfriend, and his roommate.
Yeah, no one is really ever nice to him. I'm like, I'm trying to think, like, because and this is why it's so strange because he works as like a door-to-door salesman, like selling coupon books, where he has to be talking
Yeah.
with people all the time. But it just seems like one of those sales jobs where they take anyone, like you don't even need an interview.
Oh,
Because he couldn't make it through an interview, I think.
no, he can't make it through the sales pitch without like he's just racing through with no
Yeah.
breaths. And most of the time that he's saying it, like you are struggling to make out what it is he's talking about. And you can see the person he's talking to just going like, is this person okay?
Yeah.
That is on my like what situation has been thrust upon my doorstep right now?
It's like they feel bad for him, but like they know they shouldn't keep engaging with him, or there's like they just like they're trying to get out of the situation because it's like this is just not gonna end well. Yeah, just like you can just
Yeah.
yeah, that anxiety, right? Just him just being like, I just need to get to the end of this pitch, and the faster I do it, just the better my life will be.
It's like seeing a three-legged rat that like just lost its leg and is openly bleeding. You feel bad for it because that's a creature in pain, but you know that it also carries diseases, so there's nothing you are not equipped to handle that situation.
Yeah, and like right, like he tries to be like vulnerable, like with his boss. Like it's weird. Like he has like a guy like drives like a bunch of weirdos in the back of a van to the suburbs so they can sell
Uh,
coupons. It kind of again reminded me of American Honey with the kids. But these are not kids. These are just weird adult men.
oh, it is very relatable in the way that it depicts like having coworkers in a job that you don't want to do that you hate those coworkers. Like they just
Hmm.
feel like they're from a different world from you. Which, so I read the oral history in the Criterion booklet for this,
Hmm.
and those were just two guys that they found, like basically like how you would find someone for the job. They just like found two guys and like didn't really explain to them that this was a real movie. They almost like just explained it as like this is a documentary about this guy, and then like the director Ronald Bronstein like pulled them aside and actively encouraged them to bully him pretty much, and they did. And so when the van is like speeding down the Long Island Expressway, he got revenge by eating a shitload of Cheetos really fast and puking all over them.
Jesus.
So yeah, the making of this movie sounds like it was a blast.
Was it
Actually, everyone that made it like seemed like they had good experiences making it, but are also surprised that A, it is a movie that people have watched, and B, that people like it.
I could see that, yeah, just working on this weird
Yeah.
movie with these weird people, like, is it one of the people is
Yeah.
it one of the guys in the van that says, like it's like, "Oh, you give her the old Puerto Rican python?" That was
Yeah.
these are the kinda coworkers he has.
Yeah, I've been around people like that and they make me not less uncomfortable than he
No,
seems.
he's just but
Uh,
yeah, like, what the Carmine is, like, the boss who drives him around, and he, like, tries to apologize for being too vulnerable, and Carmine is just like, "I don't wanna hear anything about your personal life, like, go
yeah,
away with this crap."
yeah, yeah.
I
Like, don't talk to
Yeah,
me.
it's just like, "Do not talk to me about anything that's not related to work." And just again, just and that was watching the interview, with director and Josh Safdie, it was, yeah, I guess instructive. It's like, oh yeah, like the main character's name is Keith. It's like Keith is like has like no malice. Like he's not a malicious character at all. Like he's for all
No,
intents and purpose like an innocent, just like trying to make it through the world.
he's just not equipped with any of the skills. His parents did not give him the skills. Life has not given him the skills. He cannot function.
And clearly keeps ending up in situations and relationships that just reinforce his insecurities. Like
Yeah,
yeah, like his best friend just hates him and is what beats him up.
openly
At the end of the spoiler alert, his best
beats
friend
him up.
beats him up.
They're watching a movie together, and his friend is fast forwarding through the movie so it will end faster, so he can get him out of his
Yeah,
house,
like,
and not like being sneaky about it.
well, Keith is zonked out on the couch, so yeah, it's not
Yeah,
subtle, but it's just like
yeah. It's like, well, I can end this a lot faster if I just end this a lot faster. Yeah, it's like two of the meanest people to him like are playing pianos and keyboards,
mhm,
but not like productively. And in Sandy, his mean friend's case, like not well.
yeah.
He's like obsessed with classical music, but then like it shows him playing the piano and it's not like good.
He's yeah, maybe a little out of his league.
It's it's also unclear how they know each other, what they would have in common that they would be friends about, or just like any aspect of that relationship.
Yeah, it's like you kinda have to fill in the gaps because you could see it's like, "Oh, is this like a weird, like, friendship since high school where, like, Sandy is like, oh, like, here's this weird
Yeah.
kid that I'll be friends with,' and then he became cursed for life."
Or like is this they met on the subway and this guy like took pity on him and now it's he's in way over his head because like this sad puppy dog of a
Yeah.
human being just keeps following him around and this is not what he signed up for.
Yeah, it is kinda
It's
like
yeah,
the stray dog or stray cat that you feed and just, won't leave you alone.
yeah. It's a journey, this movie.
It is a journey, yeah, like, not that much happens, but there's just so much tension with, like, this dude and what he's gonna do that you just it doesn't yeah, like, it doesn't feel boring. It's just like, "Oh, yeah, like, of course, you just this
Oh,
anxiety is just there and building, and you just have to sit through it," which, as someone who has anxiety a lot, pretty comfortable spot. So, if well-adjusted people watching this movie, I can understand, might find it, a bit hard to sit through.
yeah. Yeah, but as I stated earlier, the I loved it so much. Of what we've covered so far, this is my easy favorite.
Oh, yeah, hard agree. This had the
I mean, I really like the puffy chair,
mhm.
but this was something else. God damn. Just every moment of this, like I couldn't look away. And I was laughing a lot more than I expected to. Like it's funny while being horrific. Like we off mic were comparing it favorably to Beau is Afraid.
Yeah.
It's very much that sort of heightened nightmarish anxiety, although
Mhm.
it's about half the length of that movie.
Yeah. Probably exactly
Yeah.
half the length.
Yeah. That's a long time to spend in that headspace. That's maybe my only real criticism of Beau is Afraid. Is it's maybe a little bit too much time in.
It's an epic journey through Bo's life and insecurities, but there would be a hell of a double feature. Frownland and Bo
Yeah,
is
like
afraid.
I mean, I was never bored during that one
Yeah,
either. It's just like that one you need like a good 2 hour cooldown period
yeah.
after finishing it, like where you just don't interact with the human. And just be like, all right, well, I'm okay.
Okay. Time to decompress.
Well, none of that stuff happened to me, although it sure feels like it happened to me.
It's like I've never experienced that, but every time I
Yeah,
leave my house, I feel that.
yeah. I don't think my dad is a giant penis monster in my mom's attic. That's not what he looked like last time I saw him, or at any point in my life. Maybe I should call him again and just double check, but maybe I won't open with, "Hey, you're not a penis monster in mom's attic, are you?
Just yeah, I
You're
mean,
like a regular guy."
a reminder to FaceTime your dad to make sure he hasn't turned into a penis monster.
Yeah, and like he's in the main part of the house.
Uncomfortable.
Like if you FaceTime him and that you see a door or like indoor light, you're probably fine, even if he hasn't put the camera up to his face yet.
But yeah, it's almost like Bo is afraid is
Yeah,
like again trying to pathologize or like go into like the whys of this anxiety or insecurity, where Franland is more just the like just kind of media res is like, here's this guy's life, just deal with it. Like good
yeah.
luck.
Well, like he was talking about in that interview, like he was coming out of a pretty dark place when
Mhm.
he was writing this, and it was kind of a fuck you to people that are like, I'm a nice person,
Yeah.
I'm empathetic, and he was kind of saying like, oh, so you're empathetic? Well, be empathetic towards this guy.
Yeah.
Like, how empathetic are you? Can you be empathetic towards this?
The answer is
I fucking dare
the
you.
answer is no. People can't.
I mean, I feel like I passed the test because my immediate reaction is he's got problems, but like a lot of his problems are other people's problems that are being made to be his because those people see him as an outlet for that sort of thing that they can pass them off, like his shitty roommate.
Yeah, he just becomes like the receptacle of abuse for people where it's like, I've just been
Yeah,
having a bad day and now I got to deal with this fucking dude.
yeah.
Like, ugh, like
Well,
that's just the straw
congratulations,
that broke the
buddy.
camel's back.
My problems are yours now.
Yeah,
And he's already got like more than he can deal with. So like, Ronnie, I passed your test.
you did it.
I had empathy for Keith.
Why? Keeps trying to say something. He's got hot takes.
Yeah, like I mean, he is a fuck up and he has a girlfriend that is heavily implied to be in high school, although we do not see any evidence that this is a physical relationship at all. And in
Mhm.
fact, it does seem like she openly despises him also.
Yeah, despises him, but maybe has nowhere else to go when she's upset.
Yeah,
Which, yeah, Laura is mainly upset, and both characters just seem very uncomfortable being alive. They
yeah,
and in Laura's case, she's openly hostile towards being alive and draws little suicide comics that it's weird to say are
yeah.
kind of fun, but
I
I
mean,
don't
it
know.
is funny that her suicidal ideations are directed at strangers she does not know. Like, she's drawing a comic of her hanging herself off of the scaffolding of a building near where she lives. And it's specifically to piss off the construction guys that are there that she does not know, but she just thinks it would be good to piss them off.
Yeah,
And that's kind of funny. And like it is a well-drawn comic.
yeah, she's got ability. So maybe focus
Yeah.
on the comics and less on the being sad. Or maybe you need to be sad to do the
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if your comic is your suicidal ideation, then that's an unfortunate thing that comes along with that. But
And I guess fun fact: the actress who plays this woman, Laura, is married. Ended up marrying the director.
and as a director herself,
Yeah,
she directed a movie we'll be covering in a couple weeks called Yeast, and more recently directed the Oscar-nominated film If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You, which is similar in vibe to this
yeah,
and in audience reaction,
yeah,
uh, and also in my reaction where I really loved it
yeah,
and thought it was funny.
yeah. I am going to be seeing both Yeast and If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You in a couple weeks. So excited. I'd seen If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You and I liked it, but
Yeah,
we have an evening with Rachel, not Rachel, Mary. I don't know. Again, I keep calling. I'm thinking Rachel Brosnahan.
yeah.
Mary Bronstein. So
It's almost like you love your wife or something.
it's almost that I just can't stop thinking about Rachel, my wife. Which
Yeah, and it sickens me.
it's disgusting to love your wife.
Yeah.
But
Gross, dude. You love your wife?
ugh,
Ugh.
oh no. But yeah, this
Get a load of this asshole.
I guess
He loves his wife.
what a
Can you fucking believe it?
no.
Yeah. Anyway, back
Anyway,
to this.
yeah, I don't know context around this movie. It took 6 years to make.
Yeah. Much like Eraserhead,
Yeah.
which at times has a similar vibe, although Eraserhead is, I think, less hostile.
Oh boy.
Like the movie is kind of hostile to the main character, but not as aggressively, and some people or imaginary creatures are nice to Henry in Eraserhead.
I was gonna say the lady in the radiator is very nice to him, and he does
Yeah,
sleep with the lady in the building, so he's able to interact with
yeah.
people in a positive way at least.
And the baby is not mean to him. It's just deformed and loud.
And sick.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's sick.
Gosh, I feel so bad for the baby when it's like, "Oh, it's sick," and then they show it with, like, all the weird boils, and it's just like, "Oh, I feel so
Yeah.
bad for you, Eraserhead baby."
And then he looks at it and goes, "Oh, are you sick?" Yeah, Eraserhead is also funny in its way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love Eraserhead as well.
It is
Like you
almost
said
like
last week, I like things that. One of my favorite genres is this made me viscerally uncomfortable, and I
"Sign
hated
me
the
up.
experience of watching it.
I'm ready to feel."
Yeah.
It's almost like some of the pathologies, like, if you mix the Frownland and Eraserhead pathologies, you get, closer to Beau is Afraid, because Eraserhead has, like, all the weird sex stuff in it that this movie doesn't.
And the more surreal
Yeah,
imagery that. I mean, Boa's Afraid, I guess, is the midpoint as far as surreal imagery between this and
yeah.
that.
So a triple feature for you out there.
Yeah, that does sound like something that I would do.
You have to start
Eh,
at, you can only start it at, like, midnight, though, 'cause
Yeah,
these movies shouldn't be watched in the light of day.
no. It sounds like something I would do and then gleefully tell other people about, and then they just never return my texts again.
There
Just like,
there's a
what?
new movie meme format that shows, like, it shows, like, Ryan Gosling from Barbie, and, like, one of them, it's Ryan Gosling all, like, sad and dirty from Blade Runner 2049. It's like, "How I
Uh,
felt while watching this movie," and it'll show, like, Requiem for a Dream and other, like, really messed up movies, and then it'll show him as, like, Ken from Barbie, and it's like, "How I look when I recommend my friends watch these movies," and that kinda seems
except I'm
appropriate.
Ken in both.
You're canon. There are some where it's canon both too. Those
Well,
only
because
popped
I'm
up
having,
today on my
I mean,
Instagram.
because I'm having a great time watching these movies. Like, I don't know. This may be like a little too revealing about me, but like, I think these movies are very fun. Partially
Yeah,
because of the catharsis, but also just like I love this sort of just pitch black humor. Because as an anxious person, like that's what I've always turned to is just sort
yeah.
of dark, not dark humor how like edgelords on the internet where mean it, like where it's just them saying slurs and telling women to kill themselves. Like that's not it. It's more self-deprecating or just like absurd worst case scenarios playing out horrifically
Well, it's like,
in an
yeah, like
ironic way.
having anxiety and like an overactive imagination and going to those worst case
Yeah.
scenarios. It's like to see those things play out. Like, yeah,
It's
like
funny.
it's like this. It can be funny, and it's like, yeah, like a strange bond. I don't know. Just it's like, okay, it's like we're on the same wavelength. Okay, like lock in because
Like so
yeah, like
when I was a smoker and I lived in my shitty apartment in Salt Lake, like the neighborhood was nice, but the building wasn't. And there would be questionable people going in and out because some of the other people who lived in that building were a bit sketchy.
mm,
And I would go out for a smoke and then keep an eye on the door of my building and see if the sketchy people were going in and then worry that they would just like wander into my unlocked apartment. And so the scene in Beau's Afraid,
yeah,
where he goes into the corner store across the street and then just like turns and sees like 30 filthy people running into his apartment and locking him out, and he has to sleep on the fire escape. I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not the only person that thinks about that. And whatever my life is, it'll never be that. So this, I can
yeah,
laugh at this.
yeah. Laugh at the absurdity. It's
Yeah,
like oh,
yeah,
that's worse than I could have ever imagined. But
yeah.
yeah,
And I
it's
was worried
yeah.
about one tweaker wandering in.
Let alone
Feels so
30.
quaint now. Yeah,
Now I'm just thinking when he goes into the bathroom, there's like the guy hiding on the ceiling, and he falls
yeah.
down on him.
Him on lands on his huge testicles.
Oh, what a movie! But was afraid.
Uh, a rip roaring barn burner of a comedy. That's my review. Two of the people I saw that movie with did not feel that way. I saw it
Oh,
with two of our friends and one of their friends that I don't know.
oh, was it
Uh,
Fisher?
no, oh yeah, it might have been.
Okay,
And Luke and Jenkins.
yeah,
And I think
it's probably
Luke and I
Fisher.
both liked it. And the other two, I don't know if they disliked it, but they definitely didn't like it to the degree that I did.
You know
I think,
they both have wives and kids and happy lives, so Bo was afraid's not for them.
yeah. And I lived in that apartment at the time and had
Oh,
that thought about the tweaker like that day, like before going to the movie. So, yeah, it was a very cathartic experience for me.
so it's all
Yeah,
about finding that stuff that yeah, like speaks to you or like speaks to your truth and like your feelings and
yeah,
yeah, like if sometimes those feelings are weird and unpleasant and so
yeah.
seeing those things it's nice.
Or like seeing a worse version of
Yeah.
those things than, yeah, like, well, no matter what happens, this probably is not going to be one of those things. So I can rest easy about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just no, it's thoughts I had before just watching like the trailer makes it look almost like a horror movie because that was like another reason like I was a little nervous and because it was and just based on some of the descriptions and stuff it was kind of reminding me of the movie Naked which in the interview with the director said Naked was like a huge influence on him. So I guess another sign that maybe we're on the same wavelength as this guy, as Ronald, that we might
Yeah.
be we might be friends or something.
Yeah, because the other influence he said almost in the same breath was like the underground comics of like R. Crumb and that whole
Mhm.
scene. And I haven't seen Naked, but I've read R. Crumb and some of those comics. And I did pick up on that. I was like, this is just like those fucked up comics, but
Yeah.
as an extremely low budget movie.
What if
Yeah.
Harvey
So,
Picar was the worst person
mm,
alive?
yeah.
But just the weirdest
It,
person, because he's not like a bad person. He's
yeah.
just weird. And
It's like those comics, except none of the women have terrifyingly large breasts. Everyone looks
yeah,
normal. Because
everyone's
R.
normal.
Crumb, uh, one of our horniest cartoonists, and
Yes.
disgustingly so.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah,
oh, Mr. Crumb. Do we need to do
yeah.
a weird 70s animated series with R.
Of
Crumb
like,
stuff and Ralph Bakshi?
I mean, I do. I have Fritz the Cat and American Pop, so I'm open to it. I've seen Fritz the Cat a few times and
We need
have
to
gotten into fights with people on Reddit about it.
we need to
Which,
watch the Wizards.
if you go by upvotes, I lost that argument. But if you go by who was correct, I won that argument.
You slam dunked. But maybe another time we'll disturbing
Oh,
70s cartoons.
yeah. I maintain that the other guy in that argument was an asshole for telling his friend that recommended it to him, I will never watch that pornography with you. He called it pornography. It's not. It's problematic as hell, but it is not pornography. It is bordering on racist, but it is not pornography.
It's got other issues, but the
Yeah.
porno's not
Oh,
one of them.
it's got a lot of issues. It's definitely transgressive, and we've come a long way as a society since that was pushing the envelope. But it is very interesting as an artifact.
Frownland might be tough to watch, but it is not racist.
There, no, there. I mean, it is set in New York, but you only see white people. But you also only see like five people.
There are only about 5 or 6 people in the
Yeah,
and his
and
boss is named Carmine, so maybe he's Italian or Puerto Rican or Dominican or something.
and it's almost kind to people of other races that they don't have to deal with any of this.
They're not putting that evil on
Uh,
them. It's
yeah, this should be inflicted solely on white people.
yeah.
We
This
deserve it.
this man is our
That's my
curse.
woke take. My woke take is white people deserve to have this happen to them.
I was gonna say we're just a couple days removed from the Harry Potter TV series trailer dropping, and the very strange decision to make Snape black kind of feels like being in this world as a person having to deal with Keith, because the
If
implications of that are weird. Because it's like, oh,
yeah,
this shifty guy who's evil, and these students are ruthlessly cruel to, and I think they even hang Snape from a tree at one point in the books. So, you know,
I've I have never been a Harry Potter person, so I would not know. But I did find it interesting that they made it look exactly like the movies that already exist, except with worse lighting.
yeah, and like I want to like Nick Frost in it and stuff, but it's just like it's just the same. It's like, why are we doing this? Like, it just
Like
what are we doing
I
here?
didn't I didn't care about this last time it happened. You expect me to care about it now? Like I was at the age where like if I was gonna care about it, it would have been then, and I couldn't have given a shit. Like I saw the
Mhm.
first one in theaters with my family, and I remember just thinking like I don't care about literally of any of it. Oh, this is 2.5 hours. Well, fuck. I guess I better strap in because they're my ride home.
Well, now you'll have an 8 to 10 episode series of that with that's the same.
Yeah. And one thing I'm especially looking forward to is all the internet discussions that everybody is going to have about this and about J.K. Rowling and the person that she has chosen to be in this world. With all of her money, the choice that she made of the type of person she would like to be in this world. God, I
Yeah.
cannot wait to hear about more of that.
The discourse, it never ends. Someone I forget
Yeah,
where I heard it, but someone basically said it's like Lady Ghostbusters happened in 2016, and we've just like been living in that world pop culturally like ever since, where everything just there's like has to become a wedge issue of people yelling at each other.
oh yeah, and I've got into a lot of arguments about that one because I liked it and I thought it was funny and had good jokes, and people got mad at me and told me that Ghostbusters is not primarily a comedy. It is
Oh,
about jacking off to what the Ecto One looks like, apparently.
that
That's
is
the vibe
true.
I got from the new ones, which I refused to watch.
Yeah, the Afterlife definitely had that vibe, and yeah,
Yeah,
Lady Ghostbusters just should have been R-rated with the people who are in it. Like
yeah,
that's like my only thing. It's like, oh, just like you have Paul Feig, you have Melissa McCarthy and Kristen Wiig, like just let them loose, let them do their
yeah.
bridesmaid thing and like be R-rated. But that was never gonna happen.
Ghostbusters is an hour 45 of dick jokes and ghosts. That's what it should be. That's what Lady Ghostbusters was, pretty much. And the new ones are about, again, jacking off to the Ecto One and proton packs because nothing gets me hard like seeing the same thing I saw when I was a kid.
It's for those who have a
Yeah,
Bustin' makes me feel good tramp stamp.
yeah. The trailer gave me the same vibe as watching Ready Player One, which is an experience I will never ever put myself through again. So I will not see the new ones.
And Ready Player One is a movie I find weirdly comforting and have watched many
Oh no.
times.
I saw it once in the theater and spent the whole time clocking every reference and going, well, I could be watching that instead, but instead I'm here.
I've heard
God
the
damn.
I've heard the book is worse because all of those things are described instead of just in the background.
I read one paragraph of the book just because I was curious, like 2 years before the movie came out, because people I like were talking about how much they liked that book. So I was like, ah, I'll check it out. And I got a headache just reading it. I was
You
so like this is the opposite of what I want from anything ever.
you didn't realize one man could reference so many Capcom characters in one sentence.
It's like, I lived through the 90s. Do I have to do this again?
It's fun. Ben Mendelsohn's the bad guy. What more do you want? It's good. It's
A
fun.
relatable story.
It's I just find it so dumb that it's enjoyable. It's like, well, this is at
I
least
will give you that.
visually fun. Like like the car race scene with all the stuff. I'm like, well, it's still got the some of the Spielberg magic, but it
Yeah, I will give you that it is dumb. I will concede that.
it's but I find it dumb in a fun way and not in an annoying way.
I was also just like mad at what it felt like the thesis of that movie was.
Oh, it's so
It's
dumb.
like in order to be a fan of something, you have to know more about it than everybody else and constantly remind everybody. It's like, no, fuck you. If you like something, you're a fan. That's all it takes. You don't need to know shit about it. If you had a good time, congrats, you're a fan.
Well, like
Like
the kind of end note, it's
fuck
like
off.
you know
Yeah.
maybe touch grass every once in a while. We gotta close the oasis a couple days
Yeah.
a week, so
Yeah.
touch grass. I'm
Or,
making out with my girlfriend who keeps saying she's hideous even though she's not.
yeah. my hideous girlfriend who has an almost visible birthmark, and that's why she's a freak. And it's like the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, or whatever. Yeah, like fuck off, Ready Player One. I hated that movie so much. I'm pretty sure my letterbox review of that movie just says no, and that's it. 1 star, no.
I like when they have to, or when she's like a slave in their prison, having to repay her debts. I don't know, the
I don't
escape
remember
sequence
that
and
at all.
stuff. It's fun. I don't know. Spielberg magic. Disclosure Day in theaters this summer. The year of
I am
Spielberg.
excited for Disclosure Day. Yeah, I think that's the only Spielberg movie I actively dislike. Like, he has others that are not for me. Like, I don't care about Warhorse at all.
You don't
But I wasn't mad while I was watching
you
it.
don't wanna fuck the horse?
Not really. I've seen hotter horses. I've been to the track.
It's where you spend your time.
Yeah.
But it's anyways, long digression.
Warhorse is a Joey the Joey the horse is a basic looking bitch. That's my take.
But I guess, yeah, one, I think, aspect we haven't talked about, we've mentioned a little bit, but he does have a roommate named Charlie, who at first kinda seems
Yeah.
like, "Okay, this guy's got cool posters, he's noodling around on his keyboard, he seems alright."
He, he's got good taste in music.
Yeah,
At first, it seems like he's noodling around on the keyboard and maybe he's a
yeah.
musician. But after a minute, it just seems like he bought a keyboard and he is going to explore every setting on the keyboard for 15 seconds, even if it kills him. And it doesn't matter
Yeah, and
whose night it ruins.
I guess if there's a story or plot, it is Keith trying to get his roommate Charlie to pay the bills, to help pay the power bill.
So maybe we should kind of go through the beats of the movie. It starts with him and his high school, maybe girlfriend, who knows what that situation is, in a van, and she's got like snot
Mhm.
pouring out of her face, and she
No.
is not happy, and he can't form a sentence. Then they go up to his 2 room apartment, in which he sleeps on a mattress in the kitchen,
Yes.
and she lays down on his bed and just like faces away from him immediately and starts like clawing at the wall.
Yeah.
And then it turns out his down pillows are causing an allergic reaction on her face. So she shoves her whole face into the pillow, and he gets his first sentence out, which is, I don't think that's a good idea.
That's a full sentence. That's about
Yeah.
it. That's about it for full sentences, but yeah,
Well,
he
he the other articulate time he has is in this
yeah.
scene, because in order to cheer her up, he puts socks on his hands like puppets and then starts basically going through his workday, which is its own hell. And
And then it kinda deflates because she looks at the socks and is like, "Are those my socks?" And it feels real
yeah,
weird. Like, "Oh, yeah, you shouldn't be using her socks." That she just took off, but he
yeah,
gives her a spatula to use as a mirror so she can look at her face from the allergic reaction to the down pillows,
yeah.
which is kinda nice. I don't know, it's
And
like, "Oh,
then
this is fun." You giving her a spatula for a mirror? Okay.
he eats eggs and popcorn off the open oven door.
People have a problem with that, but it is part of what happens in the
Yeah,
movie, and the I guess, yeah, like,
yeah.
when people talk about the visceral.
Which is should be noted, the
Yeah.
entire plot description on IMDb is a door-to-door coupon salesman eats eggs and popcorn off the open oven door.
Yeah, and I guess this scene's, like, has the most visceral part, at least for me, where he gets on the like, with the sock puppets on the bed, and, like, something happens, and he ends up with a push pin in his leg, and it's just very unpleasant, and I was just like, "Oh, no, is this whole movie just gonna be anxiety and push pins in the leg?" And fortunately, it wasn't.
But they had no money to make this,
Yeah.
so they did just stick a push
Oh,
pin in a man's leg. They don't have the money to fake that.
no. I did wonder, but it makes sense.
Mm,
It's authentic.
yeah,
And then yeah, and then he goes then we see him at work and he's going door to door and old ladies are trying to shoo him away but still trying to be nice, but you can even push an old lonely lady to her limits when you're Keith and you can't finish a
yeah.
sentence. But he has like a spiel about like
Oh,
he's looking for donations for multiple sclerosis and his brother has multiple sclerosis. And he says about a minute's worth of words. He tries to fit that all in about 20 seconds, the sales pitch.
yeah. And, like, he talks about, like, if his dad was alive, selling these coupons might have helped him with his illness, but he's dead now, so this will just help his brother. And then the lady is like, "I'd love to help you, but there's no soliciting here, and they keep an eye on us, so I can't give you any money for this." And he's like, "Okay, but what if I just go inside and use the bathroom and you can pay for it while I'm in there using the bathroom?" And then she gets mad and makes him leave.
It's, vibes wise, he's not a guy you want to let into your home. So it's understandable.
Yeah. Yeah, again, it's like seeing a three-legged rat bleeding out. You feel bad, but you just know nothing good is coming from helping it.
Yeah. And oh, I guess this does have trope alert. There is a scene of him showering, and you do see Hog.
Oh,
So we gotta
oh, that's in my notes.
gotta
Yeah,
make that happens pretty early on in the movie, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lathered up hog.
Hog alert. And then yeah, it's just kinda
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact order, but kind of him bouncing around because he goes back to his apartment and there's like the scene where you first meet Charlie and he's playing the keyboard and he goes in to like play the message on the answering machine and he's like just acting so weird and insecure and like you can tell he wants to talk. He wants to say something but can't.
Yeah. And then you find out pretty quickly it's because Charles is the most hostile man to ever live.
Yeah,
Just dripping with pretentious contempt with every sentence.
he just has no time for Keith and
No.
just reads him for filth like whenever he can. And I it seems like in the arrangement like Keith is like the like leasing the apartment somehow.
I I have a theory. I think it was Charles's apartment and Keith answered an ad
Mm.
and got the room and Charles just saw this as his meal ticket so he could just sit around and do quote unquote his music,
Oh, okay.
aka pushing buttons on the Casio aimlessly and yelling at people on the phone about Frank Zappa records. Cuz of course this asshole's a Frank Zappa guy.
Of course.
Um and then just like take advantage of this sputtering, pathetic sad sack for his own gain. But one thing he didn't count on is the pathetic sad sack would still expect him to pay his portion of the bills.
Yes. Because he's got no money. He's trying to make a living.
Yeah.
And
But also kind of not trying to make a living,
I mean he's
just trying to coast stuff. Yeah.
yeah. And yeah, I don't remember at one point he goes to like a computer club and like writes like a fake like notice of like a for the power that the power's gonna be turned off.
And it's interesting because, like, when he's typing it out, it's actually well written
Yeah.
and everything's spelled correctly and it's articulate. And you get the idea that, like, if he could just figure his shit out, like, he'd be
Yeah.
fine. He's not an idiot. He just cannot function.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I thought he might be like scamming someone because it's like, oh, like he seems like articulate and stuff. Is he just like
Yeah.
playing like this role? But no, he's not scamming anyone. He's without guile. He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
tries to get the woman working at the computer club to call and like pretend to like be collecting
Yeah.
the power bill, and she's just like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not gonna do that. Like,
I'm not comfortable with
yeah,
this. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Let's see what happens
And it's
next.
again, yeah, it's like not much because it's like these.
Is that when he goes to Sandy's house for the? It's hard to keep the order of things straight because it's very episodic.
Yeah, I think it's yeah because I have like him going like the answering machine, and then sleeps in the kitchen. And then yeah, then I think he calls his friend Sandy and like goes over, and it's just like pulling teeth. Like Sandy's just trying to like so hard to like get off the phone with him or like not let him up into his apartment. And
Sandy ignores his first like 5 desperate
yeah,
voicemails, even though he's in the room listening to them and poorly playing the piano.
or someone so insecure as Keith, he
Yeah.
sure is persistent.
Also, Sandy has serial killer vibes.
Yeah, Sandy's kind of
He reminded me of the guy in Art School Confidential that everybody thinks is the serial killer.
okay.
Have you seen
Yeah,
that
because
movie?
I haven't.
Oh, okay, it's a trip. I like it.
Well, it'll be
Yeah,
on a future series.
yeah, I think we have it down.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for like 3 years from now when we get to Art
All
School
right.
Confidential.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, like and Sandy's like watching a movie and wants to sleep, and yeah, kind of like we mentioned before, it's like he's like, well, it's like I'm watching this movie and I'm going right to bed, and then yeah, Keith falls asleep, and then Sandy fast forwards the movie so Keith will leave.
Barely says a word to him the whole time.
Oh yeah, no, it's
One of the most
and then yeah,
uncomfortable friend hangs I've ever seen in my life.
it's tough when just you have one person wants the other person to not be there and not wants to never see them again.
Yeah, for undisclosed reasons.
Yeah, it's like we don't know how they yeah became friends again. Probably just feeding the stray cat is just he stayed around. He was
Yeah,
nice to Keith once, and now he's stuck with him forever.
yeah.
Then he goes back to the apartment, and this is like when he actually kind of tries to confront Charlie, and he says a line of to himself. He says, "Constantly going through a cycle of fear." He's like trying to
Oh,
like
yeah.
rev himself up.
The wheel of fear in his mind or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so, and he's able to be like, hey, it's like you got to pay the bill. And again, Charles is just so condescending. He's like, I know how to pay a bill. Like it's done. I'm gonna do it.
do you think I'm so fucking stupid I can't bring this to a mailbox? And then,
Yeah, like
spoiler
maybe
spoiler alert, he might be because he doesn't pay the bill and their power goes out.
they're using candles.
They're using so yeah, Keith is using candles in the kitchen and Charles comes in and takes both of them, leaving Keith in the dark and just says, "I'm using these," and walks off.
Not a nice guy,
Yeah.
Charles. And then yeah, then I think it bounces back to Laura when she's like doing her suicide comics, and then she's like doing like with an X-Acto knife, like kind of digging into her hand. Also, that was kind of the only other really viscerally uncomfortable scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's drawing a comic about her hanging herself off the scaffolding, specifically to piss off construction workers, and it's like one of a series, and that's where you find out that she's probably in high school because the
Yeah.
comic says do this before you graduate, and also there's the very loud sound of like a school bell when she comes into frame in that scene. So that was
Yeah.
revelatory.
Yeah, weird and it just causes further questions.
Uh,
And again, you hope the relationship's not physical because it's
yeah.
we don't want Keith to be if he's without malice, then he can't be going with the high school girls.
Yeah. Like I rewound that scene a couple times because the movie never explicitly states that
Yeah.
she is, but I like rewound it a few times because I just wanted to make sure that my feeling about what was being implied was actually there. And then I talked to somebody else who has seen this about it the next day, and he's like, "Yeah, that's what I was picking up." And then I read Richard Brody's uh, essay in the Criterion booklet where he says that, and then there's the casting notice that Mary Bronstein saw when she found out about it, that says they're looking for someone that can play 16 or 17 and likes the Smiths and like Godard movies and a couple other things. And instead of just taking the phone number, she took the whole notice because she didn't want anyone else to get the part.
Clever. So
Yeah.
fly update. It ran into my computer screen and stunned itself, and then I was able to dispatch with the fly. So RIP to our first guest, the fly.
Flies are so fucking stupid. He didn't even say anything about this movie, too. What a useless guest.
No.
Hey, if you're a future
Really
guest on
disappointed.
this show, I will be nicer to you because you are a human.
You'll be saying
Yeah,
things.
I will not be
But
treating human guests like I have treated this fly guest.
but yeah, I think Keith meets up with Laura and like tries to like it becomes like he again he's like mumbling and like not
Yeah,
completing sentences, so it's kind of hard to follow. But it kind of seems like he took money from her, like there was money on the table, and like he
yeah.
took it. Like he's like, I wasn't supposed to took it, but I took it anyways.
And
And
then she says, "This hurts." And like he starts to apologize, and then she holds up her bandaged hand that we just saw her carving up with an X-Acto knife,
yeah,
and she says, "I was talking about my hand." And then he mumbles off
and
and smokes a cigarette.
he does love smoking. That is
Yeah.
his most normal behavior is being a chain smoker.
I mean, I can say from experience, it does help manage anxiety. Not in a healthy way, but in a way that feels real good in the moment.
Yeah,
Plus, it looks cool as
and
hell, kids.
kids, it looks cool.
And you feel like $1,000,000 during, but not immediately after, or in the times that you're
Yeah.
not doing it. Then it doesn't feel good at all.
So now is when we have our Charlie adventure. I think
Well, there's also,
he's trying to find a.
before that, there's more work stuff where he goes
Oh
and
yeah.
does the spiel at some guy in a house. And the guy
Oh
basically
yeah.
goes, "Sounds good to me," and takes the coupon book and shuts the door and just like fucks off. And so Keith goes to Carmine and he's like, "You just took the book." And Carmine's like, "Well, unless you want to walk home from Long Island, you better go get the money for that book." And
Yeah.
he keeps trying to make excuses, and finally he goes back and stammers through something about like, "You need to pay for the book." And the guy goes, "Give me just a second." And he walks off, and then he comes back and just gives him the book back.
This is too much hassle for $5. Just take the book. So yeah, and then we have our Charles adventure where he calls someone, probably like it seems like a family member, like asking for money, and they're just
Yeah.
not giving, just not gonna let him
Charles being a
not gonna
complete
lend him any
unemployed deadbeat that is incapable of paying the bill and might be stupider than Keith is revealed.
somehow.
Charles is very pretentious and knows a lot of big words, but he is a dipshit. And that reveal is so funny because he's just like playing
Yeah.
Space Invaders. And then he goes to apply for a job as a barista, which has a quiz of like barista related information. Like, what is an espresso? And his answer is a caffeinated beverage. And that's it. That's all he writes. And I was laughing
Yeah.
so hard.
Very basic questions. And then yeah, like they ask for like his schedule of availability and it's just 12 to 4 p.m. every day, just the afternoon shift.
Yeah.
Which if you're a barista, probably the worst time to work. Probably
Yeah.
the dead time where with no tips and no business.
The only person coming to your coffee shop between 12 to 4 is me on the weekends because that's when I've woken up.
Yes.
Yeah.
He ends up it's yeah, like
He, go,
it's funny
he,
because he's so dumb.
he goes to take an employment test, and the test proctor says, "Are you here for the LSAT or the GRE?" And he doesn't know which one or what they are, which in my notes says, "Not a great sign." And then neither is like when the guy says, "And then we'll have someone evaluate it. And he says, evaluate, like some sort of fancy word for grade. And that's when it hit me. Oh, this guy's stupid, stupid.
This guy is so dumb. But yeah, the best probably yeah, the best part of this sequence is when he's doing this test. There's another guy who's like coming to take the same test
Yeah.
who seems cool. He's got like a cool jacket and cool hair and like he doesn't have like a pencil, so he starts like doing like drawing diagrams on the board, and the proctor's like giving him crap for it, and it's like you can't do this. Like you need to give me pencils with lead.
The guy gives him like 80 pencils in a row.
So many pencils.
And then, like, Charles keeps trying to talk to him while they're taking the test. He's like, I think we're taking the same test. And the guy comes in and goes like, shut up.
Had it taking test, and then I guess yeah, they're waiting for it to get evaluated.
Which is a fancy word for
Like
graded. It should be noted.
fancy word for graded. And yeah, like they go into the stairwell to smoke and like have a conversation,
And it turns out
and it's clear that Char.
they're both
uh,
pretentious, dumb blowhards just talking at each other instead of to each other,
yeah,
trying to impress each other. Charles goes off on this weird, weird thing that involves, like, at the end of the day, he's just got to get his Twizzlers. That's like my favorite line is by the other guy who just like looks at him like he's the dumbest fucking person on earth and says, "You're telling me that in the middle of this kind of ontological or epistemological fucking crisis, your safety net is Twizzlers?" Because he botched the word and they kept the take in there anyway, which I thought was perfect.
Twizzlers. Yeah, it works. And yeah, this is I guess the scene that reminded me the most of like Naked, because it's like this is like a pseudo intellectual conversation
Oh,
between
yeah.
these two
Neither
guys.
of these guys is smart, but they know every $50 word in the dictionary. At
Yeah.
least how to pronounce it. Not what
And
it means, but
the other guy's just kind of just over the whole thing. There was like, this test is bullshit.
yeah.
Like, this is all bullshit. And yeah, Charles just trying to be like, well, maybe you know, after a long day, go home with your Twizzlers and have a drink and watch RoboCop.
Yeah.
The guy's just not impressed. And he ends up stealing Charles's Walkman.
Yeah. Which I thought was funny and deserved.
Yeah.
Did not feel bad for Charles in that moment.
Not at all. And then we get to kind of, yeah, the last stretch of the movie, which I describe as Keith's descent into hell, because it somehow gets
Well,
worse
so
for him as he tries to
he
go.
confronts Charles, and I was proud of him
Yeah.
for a minute. And then Charles is like, I'm about to
Hmm.
be fucking homeless and it's your fault. And it's not. It's Charles's fault for being a dipshit.
No.
And
Yeah.
like Charles is like trying to put all of his shit on Keith because that's what everybody in this movie
Yeah.
does. And Keith kind of stands up for himself as
Hmm.
much as he's capable of. And I was like, good job.
Good job, Keith. And then, yeah, Keith ends up at Sandy's and he's like trying to buzz up, but like Sandy really doesn't want to let him up. He's like, go 2 blocks away and like I'll meet you. Or but then I think he ends up like getting in, like someone's like leaving and he ends up getting into the apartment
Yeah.
building.
Oh, first, Charles says he might not pay the bill at all, which it's too late. The power's already out. He might not pay it at all
Yeah, the
as a
power's
way
out.
to punish Keith for being a sputtering, anxious mess and a piece of shit and a troll and all this terrible stuff. But, like, the real answer is he's not going to pay the bill because he doesn't have any fucking money because he's an idiot.
Doesn't have money and doesn't have a job and is
Yeah.
too dumb to do it. The most
Doesn't know
basic work.
what an espresso is. But
It's a
he
caffeinated
knows what
beverage, Greg.
evaluate means now. So he learned, yeah, he
He
learned something
learned.
today. Yeah. So yeah, he goes to Sandy's.
So yeah, so
They kind of have a conversation. It's unclear what Keith is trying to say because none of it is sentences.
he he said something about like not wanting to end up like the Giving Tree. That's kind of the only thing I was able to decipher from that.
Yeah, which it's unclear what that means exactly.
Yeah, got to reread the Shel Silverstein book, but yeah, because I don't know if it's Charles or Sandy, but someone like kind of says like it's like you just can't say anything directly. It's like just say it. Like it's all these like
Mm.
metaphors and whatever, and like he just keeps spiraling into like metaphors. Like he can't
Yeah,
escape the spiral. I think it might have been Sandy before Sandy beats him
yeah,
up.
yeah. Sandy just like beats him up in the stairwell and like makes him bleed out of his face.
Now
It's not like a tough guy fight. It looks like a nerd beating up another nerd in a
yeah,
stairwell.
yeah. Just a step more aggressive than Colin Firth and Hugh Grant fighting each other in one of the Bridget Jones movies.
Yeah,
So that has to be the nadir of fighting. That's kind of as low as you can get with two men fighting.
I don't know. I have been in one kind of fight that was probably sadder, but also I was laughing the whole time, so I don't know if it really can. What had happened is, so for those of you that don't know us, we grew up Mormon, and a big part of
Mhm.
growing up Mormon, if you're a boy, is playing basketball with other Mormons on Saturdays
Very
or
important.
like in your free time. And we were playing basketball with like just a few of us before school, and I was guarding a kid that is not better at basketball than me, which is really saying something.
Hmm.
And my one skill on the court is trash talk, so that's what I was doing. And he got mad and came at me with the little slaps, like the dog paddle like slaps, and I lost it and just like couldn't stop laughing, and the fight ended. So that fight is probably a little bit sadder, but also funnier because I was laughing the whole time
So
because
I
I
did have.
couldn't believe it was happening.
I mean, it seems surreal, especially just. I mean, people get very intense during the church basketball. It's.
Yeah, and I had a reputation at that point as not someone that you should be taking seriously on the court. I had had that reputation for a long time at
Kind
that
of
point.
a joke. I had a fight
And I
that ended with my friend throwing an Arby's sandwich at me. So that I don't know if it's better or worse. But yeah, Keith wandering the streets, bleeding, ends up in a party from hell. The music's
yeah,
loud, the lights are red, and there are two weird dudes singing and dancing around him.
yeah, I thought it was a bar at first. I had to rewind it a couple of times because there's like a lot of people in that room,
Yeah.
and it is lit red, but I should have thought about it and realized I have a lamp in my room that has a soft red light that I'll often have on for like atmosphere
Hmm.
while I'm watching movies
Yeah.
because it's better than having the actual bright lights on,
Yeah.
and it's fairly dim, so
Yeah.
I don't know, it works for me. So I should have thought like, oh, other people have access to red light bulbs in New York, which is actually where I bought this bulb, and I don't know how it's still alive, honestly. Um, but yeah, it does eventually seem like it's a house party with a band kind of playing.
Yeah, unclear. He drinks and then he's got these two guys singing a song that like the Frownland song because I guess the title's taken from a song from like the 60s.
Yeah, from Captain Beefheart,
Yeah.
who was a friend of Zappa.
Oh,
Yeah,
full circle.
interesting guy. Oh, I actually have a New York story about Captain Beefheart that is funny. Um, I've never met him. I think he may have even been dead when this happened. But my friend was in town for a comedy festival and he was crashing on my couch. And like we just went out drinking at night when he was around. And we went to this Irish pub in Manhattan. And the only people there were us and these college kids. And the college kids kept putting Kesha on the jukebox. And like the 70-year-old Irish bartender did not look thrilled about that. And so my friend went up and put enough quarters in to play an entire Captain Beefheart album and just hit play. And we were loving it. But all those kids immediately cleared out. And the bartender was just like, thank you. And then we just like hung out with that guy until like 4 in the morning.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, it was a good night.
But he ends up puking, Keith, poor Keith, in this party from hell.
Yeah.
And yeah, no one likes that, so he gets thrown out.
Yeah, that's part of why I thought it was a bar, because it seemed like it was a bouncer, but it may have just been a guy at the party.
I mean, yeah,
It was a
some
big
weirdo
guy.
barfed at my party. Just gotta throw him
Like,
out.
yeah, no one knows this guy, and he's making puke everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's bleeding out of his face.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, Keith somehow survives the night, and the movie ends just kind of in the morning with him leaning on the edge of a building, top of the building, kind of leaning on the edge. Just a new day.
Yeah.
Same shit.
Yeah. He's finally all better.
He's all just needed to go through to hell in this
He
party.
just
Because
needed to puke it all out. He's fine
I,
now.
I mean,
There's no way he's fine now.
a party for a socially anxious person is not fun. Let alone whatever this party was, because it seemed quite hellish.
Oh, I am useless at big parties
Yeah.
unless I know most of the people there.
Yeah, watch out if you're the one person I know at the party, because it's going to turn into a Sandy Keith type of relationship.
Yeah, it's either that or I'm just gonna like go home. I'll just like hang out at the snack bar for a little bit, try everything, probably try too much of everything until people are like, that guy's eating all the food, and then I'll leave.
Yeah. So, any final thoughts on Frownland?
It ruled. I loved it so much. I'm excited to watch it again. I'm so glad I purchased it.
Yeah, I really liked it, and again was kind of expected the worst, and then the worst didn't happen. So I was like, oh, I could rewatch this. Where something like Naked, I'm more hesitant to rewatch than Frownland. But
Yeah,
yeah, I guess there's in the interview the director talks about kind of like Ronald and Charles being not Ronald is the director, Keith and Charles just kind of being like his different sides. It's like Keith is the insecurity and Charles is like the arrogance, and I just thought that's kind of very interesting kind of pathology or whatever, just putting it into his movie. It's like, okay, yeah, like that's the way to explore your shit. Like, all right.
yeah. In the DVD, like there's like a text introduction to the interview that just says he basically had Josh Safdie interview him like a security blanket so he would feel better because he doesn't like being interviewed because it makes him feel like the type of person that he likes making fun of when he's watching TV. And so he just assumes that's what people are doing to him. But if it's a
Hmm.
friend, he can think about that less.
Yeah, it's
But he's
yeah, it is
also like, yeah, but maybe I deserve that if that's what I'm doing to other people.
maybe that
So
insecurity coming right out.
there's
Uh,
also a special feature where he like kind of introduces the movie, but it's over footage of him like putting dog shit on a dollar bill with like plastic utensils and leaving it in the street for people to find, and it's called Doo Doo Dollar. And what it's based off of, which I think he also talks about in this interview,
yeah,
is a public access show he saw in New York as a teenager, also called Doo Doo Dollar, where someone would rub dog shit on the underside of a bill and leave it on the street, and then there would be a fixed camcorder across the street just filming people as they walked up to the dollar and either picked it up, said, "Oh, it's shit," and put it back down, or tried to wipe it off and put it in their pocket. And he said he was entranced by it. And based off of that description, that does sound like something that I would watch for a while.
yeah.
That sounds
It's
like my type of show. Judge
public
me
act.
how you will, but I would love Doo Doo Dollar.
I feel like we've lost something with YouTube because that just seemed because public access. There was just so much weird stuff. We need public access now more than ever, so weirdos can fulfill their
Oh,
dreams.
did I mean I do that's what I use YouTube for, is to find public access
Yeah.
clips like prank like because so many of those shows are ill-advised call-in shows which
Mhm.
never go well because
No.
every single person calling is pranking them. And like you have the expert level pranks where they tell a big elaborate thing that seems related to what the host is talking about, and then at some point they say, "And then I saw her big juicy pussy," and then the hosts like are like, "Oh shit, we have to hang up now. Bye." It's either that or like the call is immediately like, "Hey, I just called to say fuck you, you piece of shit, fuck off." and, and then sometimes the people will be like, "Yeah, well, you're an idiot too. Get off my phone." And that one's really funny. Public access is one of the best things that human beings have done in this world. I love it so much. I could go
Yeah.
off. There's a public access show that is archived on Night Fight Plus, which is an obscure streaming service where basically people like me who like to really get into pot on the weekends. And it has a collection of public access shows and like cartoons and all sorts of weird music stuff. But one of the things they have is called Glenn O'Brien's TV Party, and it's from the 70s and early 80s. And what it is Glenn O'Brien is a fascinating figure. He was part of the punk scene at this time, and later on in life, he was GQ's style guy. Like he wrote books on men's
Mm.
fashion. He was very fashionable even in the 70s, but his best friend was Chris Stein, the guitarist for Blondie, and they ran this public access show where they just have people from the punk scene and like Jean-Michel Basquiat come in and like spray paint or work their caption machine and have like weird phrases come up over them and just like all kinds of weird performance art. They would just like smoke pot openly on the camera and take calls, and it's really interesting. And they would have technical difficulties where they wouldn't realize that the mics weren't picking anything up for like a good 10 minutes.
Oh
And then the caption
god.
machine comes on and goes like, "Does Glenn know his microphone's not working? Doesn't seem like it." And just like all kinds of really cool stuff. It's like a real portrait of the underground art scene in New York at that time, and I'm kind of
Yeah.
fascinated by it. And I'm so glad that a lot of it was archived.
Very cool. Nice. Public access lives on the
Yeah.
internet.
So
But
anyway,
yeah.
that's my tangent about uh, something I care about that I don't think that many people do, but I really like it.
Seems compelling if you're in I'll yeah.
Yeah. It's fun to watch them smoke a reefer, as they put it, while also doing that. Like that's
Brave.
kind of fun. It's like
Brave in the 70s.
Me and Debbie Harry are kind of the same right now in this moment. And Klaus
Very
Nomi, the weird opera guy, he's also there for some reason. Yeah, I don't know, it's cool. I love that sort of shit.
nice. Well, if you love the puffy chair, maybe don't watch Frownland. But if you love Beau is
Uh,
Afraid, you definitely should watch Frownland.
yeah,
I think
this
that's
one's for the real sickos.
yes, this is you make it through Frownland and you have a good time. You're getting your sicko bona fides.
Yeah.
So
If you enjoyed it, shoot me a DM and we'll probably be either best friends or mortal enemies within 30 minutes.
let's hang out on
Yeah.
on Discord and game. Uh,
Let's sputter at each other.
yeah, let's not finish sentences at each other.
Yeah.
So, Greg, what you been watching?
Okay, so I finally finished the Police Academy movies.
Yay!
Mis- Mission to Moscow is the last one,
Okay.
and almost all the original cast is gone. Uh, very few remain, and minor characters are suddenly thrust into a spotlight they are not prepared for. But it was also filmed in Russia after the Cold War, but while there were coups happening.
That's
So like they
interesting.
couldn't use some of their locations on some days
Yeah.
because of like police or military presence. But also Christopher Lee, Ron Perlman, and a young Claire Forlani play like the Russians. And
Okay.
Claire Forlani, kind of good. You can kind of see where she should have had a big career that was unfortunately derailed by the Harvey Weinstein.
Not
But
supposed to say
yeah,
the bad Harvey's full name.
I didn't say it 3 times. He's not going to show
Okay.
up.
Okay. The bad
Also, he's
Harvey.
almost dead. Thank God.
What a what a day that'll be.
He is clinging to life like a three-legged rat bleeding out in a subway station.
What a metaphor
Wh-
for Frownland.
Which which deserves more dignity than him, because that rat probably didn't hurt anybody on purpose.
The rat was just doing what came natural.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, those movies are mostly terrible.
Yeah.
But let's see. I've also been watching news radio,
Good.
which
Good show.
is which is the opposite of that, because the jokes work, and Phil Hartman, one of the funniest human beings that's ever
Oh yeah.
lived. Unfortunately, today I watched the one where the Andy Dick gets obsessed with Dilbert and
Oh
Scott
no.
Adams shows up for a
Oh
second.
no.
But luckily, not long enough to talk about his opinions on anything, so that was nice. Um, that show is so good that two people I very much despise are in every episode, and not only do I still like the show, but I think they're good in the show. Like Joe Rogan and Andy Dick are people that I do not care for, but they are funny on news radio. That is
They are
where they
good
work.
on that show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Able to make it work in the
Yeah.
90s.
Yeah, and it's just sad that Joe Rogan basically became a worse version of his character on that show in real life.
Yes.
Anyway, what have you been watching?
Well, in-laws left a couple days ago, but we were still beset by having to try to accommodate everyone. So I watched some weird stuff, but watched The Gray Man, the Russo brothers movie from a few years ago, and
Oh,
what a
well, that's a classic that we all still talk about today. So of course you watched it.
it is. Yeah, the most the most swagless and mediocre movie I've ever seen. It just the whole time I was watching, I'm just like, I just wish I was watching Mission Impossible Fallout. Like, why can't I be watching Mission Impossible Fallout? Why can't that big guy be Henry Cavill cocking his arms?
How bad of directors do you have to be to make a Ryan Gosling movie uninteresting? Like,
It's yeah, it's
I
just
haven't seen The Gray Man, so I've just never seen anything like that happen. He's pretty much like, I like Only God Forgives. I think that's a good movie. So like,
mhm.
I feel like that's almost impossible to fuck up. And
Somehow
yet,
somehow they do. He's maybe has a couple lines. Like Chris Evans is like the bad guy who's supposed to have all the good lines. But again, it's just like you take
and
I mean it's the same as any of their Marvel movies, but you take away the IP, so it's just like anonymous, and it's just like and you're just left with nothing. It's just so bland and just generic and just yeah, just not fun,
it's a
but I guess yeah.
it's a bummer because Chris Evans is capable of that sort of thing. Like, he's great in Knives Out,
Yeah.
and he's really funny in Not Another Teen Movie. Like, I think he's really funny in that movie. I like that movie a lot.
I think he's funny in Honey Don't, which is kind of the most similar to this gray man role. But he's supposed to be like this
Yeah,
killer assassin guy. Like it's just
he's maybe the only person with any juice in Honey Don't, a
yeah,
movie I fully expected to like because I really liked Drive Away Dolls, and then just that whole movie kind of fell flat for me, and I hated the ending.
yeah,
Yeah.
not great. But I guess
And
better things I've been watching is I've been watching Schitt's Creek, which I've tried to get into a couple
oh,
times, but haven't been able to successfully. But this time, kind of made it and kind of got into its groove, and I'm having, yeah, the wife and I having a good time with it.
Oh yeah, I've watched that through a couple of times, and I feel like once you get past the first season
Yeah,
and they start warming up to the town, it's a lot better. Because when they're kind of
yeah,
working against the town, it's a little tough to watch. But when you see their warmth start to come through, and usually I don't really like everyone's nice comedy, it just kind
yeah,
of, I feel like it's better when the characters are making fun of themselves a little bit. I don't know. That show works for me though, and I think Catherine O'Hara, just her accent that does not exist
yeah.
in the world is one of the funniest things.
Yeah, that's why we started to rewatch it again. Is after she passed, we're just like, well, we must honor the woman. We gotta give it a real go, and it's been rewarding. So, yeah, no more
Have you?
gray man. Boo to the gray man.
Yeah. Have you gotten to anything with her Crow movie yet?
Not yet.
Oh man, you are in for a treat.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
it one of the funniest arcs in a sitcom. It's delightful. I think you're
Okay,
gonna have a good time when you get there.
it'll be good.
Yeah,
But anyway, yeah, I probably gotta go. My wife's probably wondering where I am right now. We gotta
yeah.
we gotta go
Oh.
watch this Schitt's Creek. But yeah, next week we're
Did she
talking
watch this
nights.
movie with you?
Oh no, heavens no.
Oh, okay. I'd be very curious to see what she thought of this. I would imagine it's a little bit different from what I thought of this.
It's talking to her after, I'm like, yeah, like it's interesting to see like some of my inner insecurities on the screen. Like that kind of intrigued her. It's like, oh, is this like a way to get into my weird brain? But I don't
Yeah,
I don't know if it's worth it. But she might watch next week's movie, Nights and Weekend. Joe Schwanberg,
yeah,
Greta Gerwig. We're getting back to your post grad
yeah.
ennui and relationship dramas and away from the gutters and the three-legged rats of New York.
And all I have to say is if this is another rug pull and the movie takes place specifically during work hours during the week, I am going to be mad.
You'll be on notice, Swanberg.
Yeah, I might
But
have a bone to pick with that guy if that's what happens.
yeah, but
But
Greg,
yeah.
think. Who do we have? Oh, if I could not speak like Porky Pig, who do we have to thank?
All right, Keith. Uh,
Oh God.
uh, I would like to again thank Nicholas Don Smith for our beautiful artwork. I
Thank
would
you.
like to thank Lumbermouth for editing and doing our theme music.
Thank
And
you.
I would also like to thank each of us for giving ourselves this opportunity, which may sound vain, but I don't fucking care. I also like to thank the audience for listening this far. If you're still here, we treasure you. Thank
We
you.
appreciate you, and yeah, hopefully Frownland didn't fuck you up too much. Hopefully you're able to
Yeah.
get your sicko bona fides.
Yeah. Or hopefully it did fuck you up a little bit. It's good to get fucked up a little bit
It's good to
by a
feel.
movie.
Let's
Yeah.
feel some things. Let's all feel. Increase.
It's
Let's
good.
let's feel more anxiety and insecurity than we've ever felt in our lives.
It's good to live a nightmare for an hour 45.
In the safety of your own home.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, take care of yourself, sickos. We'll see you next time.